So we have the heightened senses. They're both skills.
Okay.
So we're just going to stick with basics, right?
So you have 2 skills.
Yeah.
2 senses. Do you want to pick them out now?
I guess we'll just go with sight and hearing.
Okay. So both of them give you +2 to hit. And both of them give you double your detections when applicable. So you're if I say sight only, you'll get double. If I say sight and hearing, it'll be double. You know what I mean?
Mm.
All right? And if you're blindfolded, you're not going to get one of the
Not going
pluses.
to get, not going to get the sight.
Right, so that takes care of that. That was easy.
Right. So all right. So the remaining powers, we got heightened intelligence. We already rolled that. So we got power blast, size change, weather control, and lightning control.
Oh yeah,
It's a lot going on, so I may get rid of, the weather control. I think is going to be a lot of work, as is the lightning control. So would it be an issue to drop their lightning control and weather control and enhance the power blast? Or?
Yeah, you can do that.
So we can do that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty beefed up then.
All right. So you're the world's worst and bluntest psychologist. All right, so you're going to get 3. It sounds like you're going to keep that then.
Which?
Triple power blast.
Yeah, I'm going to multiply that. So I think
That's
we're
a cool
doing.
name. Triple blast.
Yeah, we're going to do. Remember we changed it to 2 die 10 instead of 1 die 20. So it's going to become a 4 die 10.
Correct.
Okay.
1 power point. The range is strength plus endurance, and that many feet. Jimmy already knows, so I'm giving him. And what else?
The size change. Now that's going to be really interesting.
Okay, so let's look at size change.
That's going to require some rolling, right?
Yeah, that can be a pain in the neck.
Well, but we can also just limit it to,
Right. Let me get to the book. So size change.
1 change or something.
Okay, there's a 20% chance that you could get both, big and small. So let's roll that first.
That's what I'm looking for. My dice.
And then, in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm scrolling through my, some powers created a question.
33.
All right, so you pick one. You bigger or you smaller?
We'll go bigger.
Okay, so, all right. Roll
It's
1 die
obvious,
6
but-
plus 1, and that'll determine how big you could get.
2.
2.
So 3.
So okay, so you could get a height factor of 1.5, a height factor of 2, and a height factor of 3. So you could control. You could get 9 feet tall, 12 feet tall, or 18 feet tall. Okay. So you're gonna put HF height factor 1.5, and then weight factor of 3.4. You're gonna get heavier as you get bigger, and somebody talked in my chat today that big gigantic guys are gonna have phenomenal amounts of hit points. So when Jimmy gets bigger, he's gonna have phenomenal amounts of hit points, but he's gonna be slower. All right, so height factor 2, and your weight factor is 8, and then height factor 3, and your weight factor is 27. So you're gonna get bigger, stronger, tougher, and slower. All right, and then when we stat everything out, we'll do everything else. What's your next power?
Weakness detection.
Okay, weakness detection, you already know what that is, but for those of you who don't know, it's the ability to just glean. So Jimmy's a psychologist. You're gonna you spend 1 action within 5 feet of a person, but you have the heightened senses, so that'll increase your range, and you could figure out what their weakness is, and that'll give you, what's your intelligence?
35.
35 divided by 3 is 1.
It's 12.
12.
11.
So it'll give you plus 11 to hit that person, plus you'll learn one of their weaknesses. It doesn't tell you all their weaknesses, you'll learn one of the weaknesses. All right?
So he's going to be big and slow. When he does hit, it's going to be...
It's going to be devastating. Yeah, so you are the cannon, pretty much. Anything else?
Frank Cannon?
Yeah, Frank Cannon was the name of the character.
No, that's the basics. I can...
So you could start transferring your sheets. Jimmy, all right, Scott, so...
First power is adaption.
Okay, so it's an adaption device.
Yep.
All right. This is the ability to resist the effects of hostile environments, vacuums, poisonous atmospheres, high gravity, insides of suns, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So what this power does is it makes you, you could fly in space. So it's a
If I could
device.
fly.
You control how it looks, what it is. Is it a suit of armor? Is it a special suit? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the only thing that I ask is a friend of mine had a weakness detection device. This was the famous character. I'm not going to mention names because we're on camera. But his weakness detection, so he could learn people's weakness. It was a gun. That doesn't. It just doesn't fit. But you guys have been playing, so we don't have to say what it is, but you have adaption. So I'm going to start giving you rules because it sounds like you're going to keep this power, right? So it's PR is my shorthand for power, and one of the flaws in this game is the word power is used a lot. So when it's PR, it's power. That's your fuel. It's 1 power per use as a defense. So meaning if Jimmy shoots you with the power blast and you want to adapt to that, it's going to cost you 1 power point.
Got it.
Now Jimmy, or whatever, 3 villains. 1 guy's using ice, 1 guy's using heat, and 1 guy's using whatever. And you want to adapt all 3 of them. That's 3 power because it's per application. Also, it's per hour to adapt to an environment. So you're in the North Pole. It's going to cost you 1 power point per hour to adapt to the cold. If you're in space, it's going to cost you 1 power point per hour because there's no
Cold,
oxygen.
1 for vacuum.
1 for vacuum, so it's going to cost you like 3. If you're inside the sun, it's going to cost you like 10 power points because there's radiation.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So that's pretty much that is a great power.
Next one is non-corporealness.
Non-corporealness. Another. Yeah. You're making a. This is a really interesting character. Not like Roy's. Where is non-corporealness? Okay. So non-corporealness. So something just happened on my computer, but okay. Alphabetical order means N is after M. So you have a. Okay. The character appears normal, but is insubstantial and goes like. First off, there's a 5% chance that it's permanent.
It's not permanent.
Okay, so it's not permanent. So if that's not permanent, what you're going to do is it's going to cost. Oh, that's right. This is a device. So these are charges, not power. So change your adaptation to charges.
Okay.
So it's going to cost 4 charges per hour. Okay. And you could float through the air at ground speed. You're going to use your will to control your direction. Like if at some like Jimmy still had his weather control powers, say for instance, or better yet, Jimmy shoots his power blast at you. You're going to use your will, otherwise you can float away. You use it goes through you, but your will keeps you.
Got it.
Or maybe you want to use it, but that's an example of will affecting your powers. Okay, and again we'll figure out all the second, like what is it? Like is this all one suit?
Right.
You know what I mean? Adaption and this could all be one device.
Yep.
All right, what's your next one?
Poison venom. This is the one
poison or venom. So poison is the ability to like darts.
Projects, right.
Right. Venom means if you get bit, you're venomous.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So usually people like poison,
Yeah.
but whatever. I never really differentiate. Okay, so there's no extra notes on that.
But it is a device.
So it is a device. So poison and venom. This is an open-end thing. So the ability to utilize some sort of toxin against opponents. It could be an injection, a jet spray, a gas cloud, whatever. So you're gonna roll 3 dice 6. That's how many doses of venom your device could generate.
10.
So you have 10 doses of venom. Now, what do you want it to do? Do you want it to kill? Do you want it to incapacitate? Do you want it to sleep people? Do you want to make them stupid? Is it laughing gas? You know what I mean? That's all up to you. If you don't want to make a decision right now, think about it.
Think about it.
We'll go to the next power.
Okay.
Okay.
Next power is transmutation.
Okay, transmutation is a great, and a lot of problems came up with it. So it's supplemented by my notes if you want to check it out. But the basis of it, it's the ability to turn things into other things. So in comic books, I don't know if you're familiar with the Grey Gargoyle. He touches people, they turn to stone.
Right.
And an hour later, they turn back. That's one version. Another version is it's a ray. I don't know if you're familiar with the Legion of Superheroes. Element Lad has transformation.
Okay.
He shoot rays, and everybody in the Legion of Superheroes is overpowered. He could turn anything into anything. Okay. The way I work it is if you're going to say I could shoot a ray and turn things into stone, it's going to be more powerful than if I could turn anything into anything. So I'm going to turn that chair into gold. I'm going to turn that ray gun into helium. So you know what I mean. So that's up to
Can
you.
it be, or is this a different power to transmute parts of yourself into other things?
That is transformation. That's a whole different power.
Okay.
So transmutation is a, if you use it as a ray. So the way I describe it is a. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. You shoot bad guy man. Okay, so bad guy's attacking you. You're gonna blast him with your transmutation to turn him into salt, whatever. It does 2d8 damage, plus all your damage modifiers and everything like that. And if it fully takes him out, kills him, and his basic hits, he's a pillar of salt.
Okay.
But if it does anything less than that, you know, parts of his costume, part of his gear, you know, he'll take damage. And based on how much damage he takes, that'll give you a hint of actually how much, like, you shoot him square in the chest and he laughs it off as maybe a couple of chest hairs turn into salt. You're like, oh my God, this guy.
Tough, right?
Yeah, he's got something, you know what I mean?
Resistant, yeah. Okay.
So it's 8 charges per blast. And so far I'm envisioning this as one like Iron Man suit or
Yep.
something.
Or super suit, because it's not
Yeah.
really armor. Doesn't have much defense, so I'm thinking not armor, like more like a super suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you know Alpha Flight. He had like a soft suit with
Yep.
in it, or web of circuitry and
Yep,
stuff.
exactly.
Okay, what is it? And again, I'm not telling you what to pick.
Yep,
I'm just
no.
coming up with suggestions.
So teleportation.
Teleportation. Okay, that is great because the ability to move is something that all
Right.
super.
So I did the 2 rolls it said, unless you want me to, I can re-roll them, it's not a problem.
A teleportation. Okay, so right now you're gonna make a choice. Do you personally teleport, or do you make a portal that you jump through, like Doctor Strange in the movies makes a portal, or Nightcrawler just bamps around?
I think because it's the suit, it would be self.
Okay, so all right, so how far would you like to teleport?
So, because I can't...
5 feet,
Right.
100 feet, intergalactic distances.
So could you? So like, Nightcrawler was generally short distance, right? He
Right.
Was, the frequency you can use a power. Obviously, for me, it's power depends, charges dependent,
Correct.
or how
Right.
much energy it has.
So let me explain this. If you want to teleport intergalactic distances,
Huge power cost.
huge power cost. But even if you want to teleport 9 inches, it's the same, power cost.
right?
So if you want to teleport 5 inches, it's going to be free. Not free, but
Right.
next to free. You know, so,
I'm thinking like more of a tactical ability, like 200 yards, 300 yards, something like that.
all right.
Meters for the rest of the world.
Okay. So, how much is it?
So-
1,000 yards? We'll say 1,000 yards
Sure.
just to keep the math even?
Yep.
1,000 yards, that's 300 feet. Okay, so that'll cost you 4 charges per use.
Okay.
All right? And I'm just, how about everything's going to have a central battery?
Yeah.
We'll just say to keep the math even, you're going to have 100 charges in the suit.
Okay.
All right? Anything else?
Yep. So then it's powers: heightened intelligence, heightened endurance, and heightened senses.
All right, and you already have all of those written out. What your senses? How many senses do you have?
3.
All right, and that was skills, so they're going to be normal.
Right. They're natural.
Now, keep in mind, sense of balance is natural. Financial sense, you can argue that.
Okay.
You could sense of right and wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but you can't. I have an extra sense of. I just developed X-ray vision. you
So
know?
can a heightened sense replace a diminished sense?
It depends.
Okay.
Like you could be blind, but then you wear goggles, so you're not going to see, but you could have like infrared
Okay.
goggles.
Got it.
Otherwise, there's no point of the week.
Right.
You know what? But it can. I'll allow it if you're deaf, but you have a device
Hearing aid
of
of
hearing
some
aids.
sort, right.
But right now, you can't be deaf and then have heightened hearing.
Right.
You know, unless
You
you
can
want
get to normal
unless
hearing.
you want to get rid of both of them.
Right.
And then
get
it's
to
a
normal
wash.
hearing. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with vision and hearing.
Okay, so say with Jimmy. So hearing gives you +2 to hit, and doubles your detections when applicable, and hearing gives you +2 to hit and doubles your detections when applicable. So if you're blindfolded, you're not going to get the vision bonus. If you're in a really loud area, construction site, everything's banging around, you're not going to get the hearing bonus.
Okay.
All right.
So each of those gives you plus
Right,
2
and they're
times
cumulative
2.
most of the time. So like if you're we got to follow that car, that would be hearing, and so
Gotcha.
you're flying above. Your detection would be doubled and then doubled again.
Okay.
But if you're looking for I don't know, you're watching something on TV or
Right.
something like that. You hear, I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is that everything?
And then diminished senses was the.
So what will your diminished sense be?
That's what I'm trying to think about.
Everybody always says diminished sense is smell, and then it
Bites him in the ass.
it bites. Yeah. One of the guys
Don't
had
smell the poison.
yeah. One of my friends, Lance, his character couldn't sense pain, and he didn't realize that he was picking up an electrified rod that was literally burning his hands. I was keeping track of his hit points,
That's cool.
That's cool.
and he didn't notice until smoke started coming out of his hands. You know what I mean?
That's
I'm
cool.
like, you thought you're giving yourself a power. You thought he was being fun, but it was kind of cool because
That is very cool.
like it diminished his knockout rolls and stuff. Like,
So what about like diminished sense of self-awareness? Like gets so focused he doesn't see the things around
Tunnel
him all
vision,
the
like?
time.
Okay.
Tunnel vision.
yes. Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yes.
It's very
That is excellent.
very.
That is
could hurt
really
me
good.
a lot, but
That's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But it also might be the thing that gives you a lot of role playing bonuses.
Right.
So a diminished sense of like self awareness,
like physical self-awareness. Like,
okay,
doesn't, like
because
gets
there's the
very
self awareness.
focused.
Like, look at
So,
this
like,
picture I drew. It's
so, like,
awesome, isn't it?
If
Meanwhile,
I'm
it
focusing
sucks.
on fighting Roy, I may not realize there's 2 guys coming in the doors to my
Okay.
side.
Okay. All right. So we got your character. How many slots do you have?
I have 7.
All right. What's your first one?
The first one is water breathing.
Okay, water breathing. I love this power. I have a thing for Aquaman and Submariner and stuff. So so there's 2 choices. Well, there's 3 choices: water breathing A, B, and C. And it doesn't really matter because which one. Okay, the character. So this is the first choice. The character has no difficulty breathing in water or air, but you choose which is your home. So if you choose that you're natural to the water, it costs you 1 power point per hour to live in the air, and vice versa.
I like that.
Okay. B, water is the source of your power, making him nearly invincible at sea, but with severe problems of taking out of the sea. So the first one is Aquaman.
Yeah. Nah, I think Aquaman's really... I'm going to go with that just because of... I want to interact with everybody.
Okay, so the second choice is more like the Submariner. So when the Submariner is in the ocean, he doesn't spend any power points. So he never gets fatigued. And he gets... And if he's out of the water, he can only last endurance amount of hours before he becomes fatigued. So so you have 100 power points, but at the X hour, boom, you go right to 0. But as soon as you hit the water, you come back. So just think of never getting tired because you're in the ocean. But either choice is yours: the Aquaman or the Submariner version.
I think I'm going to do the Aquaman version.
Okay, so what is your natural environment? The land or
Land.
the sea? Okay, so it's 1 power point per hour underwater.
Okay.
Okay. And it's got the bonus ability of you could withstand the depths.
Yeah.
You know what
Okay.
I mean? Otherwise, it's useless.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your first power.
Yes.
What's your next power?
The dimensional...
Okay, so this is a tough one. This is a tough
Travel?
one. Like I said, this power I usually don't let people have.
I'm actually pretty confident I'm going to drop it.
Okay, well, there's a couple of different abilities. Thor has dimensional travel. He travels to Asgard. So you could just pick, you get to go back and forth to one particular dimension
Okay.
that you can make up. Or you could travel the whole multiverse.
Yeah.
Or the 3rd version is time travel, which I'm completely disallowing. You can't have time travel because I'm very particular about time travel.
Like dimensional travel to a land of
Right.
of hops.
So and then you have to pick: is it a portal or do you just poop and teleport?
I'm going to drop that one.
Okay, good. I was gonna let you have it, but I'm glad you got rid of it. All right,
Third, absorption.
absorption. Okay, absorption is one of the best powers in the world, and it's kind of open ended. So it has no range, no character. So you must physically touch whatever you want to absorb, or it physically touches you.
Okay.
Like you get hit by a bullet or whatever. That's also counts as touch.
I absorb it
So,
into my
so
heart.
these are the different types. You could absorb people's experience points. And in my game, the experience points is your soul. So that's kind of like your a D&D. What is it? A wraith or a ghoul? I forget which one. The second one is powers. So you could touch. Well, if you touch Scott, you can't absorb his powers because he has mostly devices. But you could touch Jimmy and copy his. If you know the mimic
Yeah,
from the
like
X-Men,
yes,
right?
or Rogue.
Or I forget his
Can I
name.
interrupt?
Yeah.
Like a water devil, like you're like a water demon. You're underwater, you're coming up, sucking souls out.
I thought I was a hero, not a villain.
Went from combat
There's
medic
that
to
whole
water
good guy
demon. Where would you go, Roy?
The next
I
one
got
is
thrown overboard.
next one is hit points. So like as you do damage, you can heal.
Okay.
I'm thinking like a lamprey or something. Carrying capacity, like you could get a. So like if you get hit
wait a
with
second.
kinetic abilities, you could transfer that kinetic ability into temporary strength.
Don't you have a 4 strength,
Yes.
Yeah.
Elric?
Yeah, your Elric of Velnabone, yeah. Power, so like as you could pick like a type of energy or something like that you could transfer to reinforce your a substance like the whatever. You touch this, you turn into glass. You touch this, you turn into wood. But I'm trying to think of like a fish-based thing. And knowledge, like Rogue from the X-Men, you could. Oh, now I'm a combat medic. Now I'm the world's worst psychologist. You know,
Now I'm the world's worst.
Well, you know,
and appearance.
That's a big feat you accomplished.
So you touch Ray, you touch Roy rather, and you become Roy. You know.
I do like the knowledge thing because then you could. Well, with that, and like stopping a bad guy, and he has knowledge of something, and I touch him when I gain that knowledge to help prevent something. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'll do that.
So you're gonna absorb people's knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Now keep in mind it's temporary.
Sure.
Okay. Sure. All right. All right.
However,
So
fleeting
that's
that is.
absorption. Yeah. And is that all your powers? You got more, right?
Oh yeah, natural weapons. I have it
That's-
twice.
That's already explained. So, and you pick this. You pick what it is. Is it claws? And you rolled that under powers. So it
Correct.
So it could be anything.
And I'm guessing the. Well, I roll one as a +2, +4 damage, and then I got one as a +1 to hit, +2 damage with a 20%.
Right.
Any recommendation on the two?
We'll come back to that after we
Okay,
flesh out your
so
character.
we'll come back
a
to
little
those. The fifth one was
bit. Darkness control, right?
no. I have what is this? Natural.
natural weaponry.
Yeah, 2 natural weaponaries.
One of them with a bonus.
Oh, natural weaponry, natural weapon. Sorry, and then heightened agility
Right.
+12.
Right.
I'll definitely keep that.
Yeah, that's great.
And then darkness control.
Darkness control. So that is exactly what it sounds like. It's you filter out the light, and you could make just shadows. Or you could make absolute pitch darkness. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, I like the making absolute darkness. That sounds
Okay.
great.
Well, yeah. Well, again, you.
Of some sort, shadows or.
All right, so you're going to keep that.
Yes.
Okay, the character, it doesn't necessarily negate the light sources. It just masks them. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So this room, it's dark, but then you get knocked out. Boom, the lights go back on.
Sure.
You're okay. All right. So the maximum. So you whatever your full power is, we'll do that after. We'll give you the ranges and everything after we stat and everything. Okay. It's 3 power points per. Costs 2 power points to create, and then it says movement to shape, and that'll make sense later when we
Absolutely.
go through that. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, and then
And then that's situational. There's no
Yes.
damage because we'll role play that. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And I love that kind of stuff.
I will
This
be.
character fits really well together. And now I'm thinking of like some sort of like sea, like he said, almost
Yeah,
like a
at
sea.
first I was like, I don't know where this is going, and
Yeah.
then it is coming together,
Yeah.
and I kind of like that. Yeah, I'll be dropping one of the natural weapons, obviously.
Which one are you gonna drop?
Uh,
The lower one.
yeah, I think so.
All right, and you're dropping that to get rid of the weakness?
No, I mean, well, I already have 2 natural weapons twice.
All right, but you don't have to drop them.
Okay.
You can keep them both. They'll be cumulative.
Now, what is the bonuses of dropping it.
You could drop a power to double something else.
Okay.
So you could drop your lower natural weaponry to double your better natural weaponry.
I think I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that, and then I drop obviously the dimensional travel.
All right.
I boost up my absorption in some way, or
Two different types. You could absorb knowledge and what's something
powers.
else. You want
I
power?
choose which one I do, I guess.
Yeah. So you're definitely like rogue.
Yeah, I like Rogue. Rogue is one of my
So
favorites.
you could you could copy powers. Okay.
Powers and knowledge.
All right. And what's your weakness?
My uniqueness is I have low self-control.
Oh, yeah, here's
My flaw was a drinker.
right. So you're a drinker,
PTSD,
and you have low self control. So
former combat medic.
so